despite how I may feel about everything or whatever and finishes and booking, this has been a hell of a week to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Straight up legit. Like this is like one of the first weeks where I didn't read any, because I'm not home when the shows are on usually. So I didn't read any spoilers about Raw. I didn't read anything about AEW or NXT. I ended up reading about SmackDown, but that was early this morning because I hadn't got a chance to watch it last night, and then I just kind of skimmed through it, but I do plan on watching the full show later. But it was a good week to be a wrestling fan, man.
Raw was pretty good.
I enjoyed Raw.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Raw.
I keep hearing, because I didn't see it, but people, like, what was so racy about Lana and Lashley?
Oh, they were making out pretty hard, dude.
Really?
Like, yeah. It was uncomfortable. Like,
that's what I keep hearing people say. It was
uncomfortable. Like, it felt like they were gonna stop, and then they saw that the light was still on, and it went too far.
All right.
It went too far.
Because, that's what I keep hearing this, and then I feel like what I end up imagining in my head is not what I'm going to end up saying.
No. It just went too far.
Okay.
It went too far. Did you see the off-air? I feel like somebody was trying to rip Baron Corbin.
No.
No? Okay, so they do where they come out before the main event, right? And Corbin was standing there, and then they go to commercial.
Wait, maybe I did. Is this when the chair broke or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Then he sits down on the chair and starts to lean back, and it starts to fall. He doesn't fall. He jumps up right away.
Yeah.
Like, good agility, big man. Good agility to get off that throne
I did
real
see
fast.
that. I did see that.
Somebody was trying to get him to fall out of the chair on TV.
It's Tony Khan.
Yeah,
it's totally Tony Khan.
There's no way that chair gets that damaged during travel, and then doesn't fall apart when the stagehands are putting it up there.
Right.
Somebody was trying to not make a fool of Baron Corbin. Someone's trying to get a laugh.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton was fucking dying on the stage. I think it was him.
Could have been. Would not surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me. But I thought it was great. But so here's the thing. This is the best part. If he would have fell on TV, it wouldn't have mattered.
No, it's kind of fitting for
his character
right now. Yeah,
it's fitting for his character, and he's a fucking heel. So as long as he doesn't sell it like that wasn't supposed to happen, as long as he sells it like a heel should sell it, it doesn't matter, and it makes his character even better.
He should just be like irate or something.
Yeah.
Be like,
if he would have just started throwing the pieces around, then that would have
yelling at people. Can someone buy me a fucking expensive ass chair or something? Like, that'd be good stuff.
But Randy Orton was fucking dying, man. And their reaction to Lana and Lashley, I think that was the most disturbing thing ever.
I hate Rick right now so much. Can we just, we're done. Let's move on. I don't like Mr. Cameron over here.
But yeah, I mean, AEW was a fun show. They produced it like a weekly television show and not like a mini pay-per-view. Which I think that was the best part about that show, is that they showed restraint.
They did.
And we're like, this is what our product is going to be.
Right.
So I really appreciated that a lot.
What I will say as a counter to NXT felt like a mini takeover, but I will say,
yeah, I did. And that's not a bad thing.
They built to that though.
Yes.
It wasn't like
they
if you watch even 3 weeks prior, and they
do
that. They do that with NXT. So I mean, that's just kind of,
and that's the luxury they have by only doing 4 pay-per-views a year.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4 takeovers a year. They can do things like that in the middle of a run and it not feel out of place.
Yeah.
But I even before the show started, when I saw that they moved Riddle and Cole to start the show, I think Fran asked me about it, and I go, I feel like that's an unforced error. They didn't need to do that. That match is gonna fucking destroy. That should be the fucking main event.
It really probably
it's your world championship, but that fucking tag match, man,
was deserving of that.
Holy shit!
Either one of those. I mean, the tag match could have easily opened the show too, and that would have been a problem.
And normally, like wrestling logic and the way you actually build a card, that tag match historically would have opened the show.
Probably. NXT has a tendency to open with tag matches too.
Yeah. And even if you go back to like our favorite pay-per-view, SummerSlam 91, it opens with a hot 6-man tag. Like,
Yep.
Royal Rumble, Orient Express versus the Rockers, hot tag match. Like those that is what gets the crowd hyped. But if they would have had that match in the opener, like nothing, even the main event, even Cole and Riddle wouldn't have been able to live up to that for me, because that match,
they're both really good.
That tag match is everything I love about professional wrestling.
That tag match is not getting enough attention.
No, it is not.
Because like I told you, it felt classic.
Yes.
Like it felt like an old school classic tag match. Like I was envisioning Monsoon calling it. You know what I mean? Like the whole, like I said, they were isolating Ford from making the tag. Like it was just, there were so many things that just felt like a classic tag team wrestling match.
So good, man.
It was really fucking good.
Was that Wale that came out, wrapped him out, right? Yeah. Like I remember seeing that he was gonna be there, and I was like, oh, that'll be cool if like they do like what that Josiah Williams guy did with Adam Cole, or what that dude does on YouTube with other songs. But it was just him being he was being Flavor Flav. He wasn't being a rapper.
Dude, it was so hype, though.
It felt big.
Yeah,
dude.
like everyone with the cups, like it was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we got a lot. Rick's getting bored.
Yeah.
Let's just move on.
Okay.
No, do what you gotta do.
No, we do. We've been talking about this before we even went on.
Yeah. But it's nice to say it out here.
Yeah.
I will say that the main event for AEW was super fucking fun, man. And yes, it did feel short.
It felt short,
but I think it only felt short because of the shenanigans with Kenny and Mox.
Right. Which
was a bit much.
That was completely unnecessary.
The table?
Yes.
So
not to mention, it's just like it didn't even look brutal because you could tell that table was just ready. Like he could have went fling and it would have just broke.
And that's cool. Like you want to do a big bump and a big spot. It reminds me of when Raven and Diamond Dallas Page were on Total Request Live, and he even flowed him through the wood table on the set.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was cool. Like, it was cool. But, like, Alexis had come in the room, and she was watching with me, and she came in as Kenny and Mox were beating the shit out of each other. And she goes, oh, this is really good. And I go, yeah, it is. This is actually, like, really good. And then they get to the back, I was like, oh, no, someone's going through that table. And she goes, why? And I go, I don't know. Let's just watch. And then the spot happens, and she goes, well, that escalated a little too quickly.
Yeah.
And I agree. It could have been a regular table bump. It didn't need to be the glass or whatever the hell.
I don't think that needed to happen on week 1 of TV. You know what I mean? I know.
I think it's okay to have, because that's their. I'll give them, that's the one thing. You know what I mean? They had their one big thing.
Right.
And they're gonna have that match at the pay-per-view in 6 weeks. And like I've said, like. This is the point where they either hook me or they don't. They have 6 weeks to build to a pay-per-view where we know a few of the matches already. Build it.
Yeah.
And build it like a weekly wrestling television show would build it. Don't hotshot it. And the fact that they're able to actually build Moxley and Kenny Omega not on a fucking YouTube show right now, and Mox isn't hurt right now, and they can kind of go balls to the wall and not have to wait 6 weeks for another pay-per-view or whatever, and then another 6 weeks to do something else. If that's the starting point of the escalation of this match they're gonna have, I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, I just think I would have been fine with them just brawling. Like it did kind of feel like it's like someone like getting in a fight with someone and then breaking out a gun and fucking shooting them. I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, wait a minute. Like you could have brawled into the back. I feel like they could have saved that table spot like maybe a little bit closer to the show. Also, Kenny Omega. I like Kenny Omega, but that guy doesn't do good character work. Like, I feel like his facials and all his stuff is just not... There was something where it just felt really like... I don't know.
This is the problem with Kenny. And this is the thing that he's going to have to overcome. Is he's used to working in Japan. And while he can speak the language and communicate that way, when he started in Japan as a heel, it doesn't make sense to do that. It makes sense to emote and be over the top so that everybody grasps what you're doing without having to talk to them. And he's still stuck in that. And someone needs to grab him, and whether it's Jericho or Cody or Dustin or Billy Gunn or Dean Malenko or Arn Anderson or fucking Tully Blanchard, all these great people they have in the back, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, who've been watching wrestling for 30 fucking years. They need to grab him and go, hey, stop being here. Be right here.
Yeah.
That's because if he just stops being here and reins it in just a little bit, it'll make it that much better.
I feel like he just doesn't seem comfortable on live TV though. Like he looked awkward, like coming out there doing like mouthing the being the elite stuff.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't. Something just doesn't look natural to me. I don't know.
I like that they have. It reminds me of like DX. They have the Young Bucks have their music. Cody has their music. Paige has his music. Kenny has his music. But when they come out together,
it's one thing.
They have like that's a small thing that you and I are always sticklers for.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just make it louder, please.
So I think this is the difference, and I think they're doing the same thing WCW used to do. WWE doesn't run their music through. They run it through the PA live, but they run it through a soundboard for TV. Mm-hmm. And they have to mix it on the fly to make it sound right.
Yeah.
And AEW, Impact, every other company, they have always just run it from the PA.
Right. Some songs sounded louder than the others, though. Like, which was weird.
Yeah.
I'm talking on AEW.
Yeah. Here's the thing I will say. Nobody's music sounds fucking generic, and I dig that because that's something that happened in WCW. Mm-hmm. That's something that's happened in Impact Wrestling for a long fucking time, where everybody's music just sounds fucking generic.
I think Paige has different music, though.
Maybe.
I'm not saying it's not fitting, but I just don't. I don't think it does anything for him or to get the crowd hyped up.
Yeah.
Or it needs to add. You need to add something.
I was like, Rick's over here just, and I realized he put it on the close up.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed wrestling a lot this week, man.
Yeah.
A lot this week, even if I disagree with some of the booking on every show. I had problems with booking on every show, not just what happened on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I didn't see Ross. I can't say that. And SmackDown was not a perfect show. But yeah. Apparently Wolf wants us to talk about Jake Hager.
Oh,
exclamation point, exclamation point.
I like him a lot.
Yeah,
I always have. Since ECW when he first debuted, I'm a huge fan of him.
But if he came out on Raw this week, no one would have given a fuck.
But I think that's part of why it's special. You know what I mean?
guess, but again, it's like what I was talking about on the air. People are like, oh, Cain Velasquez or whatever.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, fucking Jack Swagger. It's like, no one cared about Jack Swagger before. Like, I just don't like the AEW rose-tinted glasses bullshit. That's the thing that bugs me.
I think people do care about him, and I think that's why it's... Because he was getting great reactions at his last year and a half in WWE. They just weren't doing anything with him, partly because of his own stupidity.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna take away from that. But he was getting great reactions as a heel, so much so to where they did.
I mean, obviously the We the People thing got super over.
And to the point where WWE did what they don't usually do, and they completely switched and made him a babyface because he was getting great reactions.
Yeah.
And we're giving him rope to hang himself, and he hung himself. I've always liked his promos. I've always liked his in-ring work. I think it's awesome that he's doing as well as he's doing in MMA, and it's not just with wrestling. So good for him.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that should be talked about on the product on AEW. And I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't see it happening right now. But if you thought he wasn't gonna be on national television within the next 6 months, you're fucking crazy.
I mean, he's
too fucking good.
He was petitioning for a job there like months ago.
Yeah, and according to them, he already had it when he was making those calls on those interviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I liked him in Lucha Underground because he was playing a completely different character than he.
I never saw him on Lucha Underground.
It was the last season for the last maybe 2 months of the last season. But yeah, man, I think that's great. I'm glad he's gonna be on TV, and I'll say what I said before we went live. I'm really glad they did the number they did. I don't think it was the best wrestling show that happened this week, but it was a really fun show, and I really enjoyed it. And we don't do star ratings, so we're not going to do that because that's stupid. Right? You agree with that, right?
I mean, yeah.
Like it's literally it's either a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and AEW was a thumbs up show this week for sure. And I'm not going to crucify them for this because it is week 1. We'll see where they go. But everybody that stood tall this week are all former WWF guys.
Right.
And if that were to have happened, when that did happen, when they brought the WCW guys over, everybody had a shit fit in WWE. Oh, they're just putting... When it happens in Impact Wrestling, when WWE guys go down there, And they go over everybody. Everybody throws a shit fit.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's throwing a fit about Cody, Hager, Jericho, Neville. Who else did I say?
I don't remember.
Anyway, they're all 5. I think there was 5 people total that ended their night on top. Were all guys that came out of WWE.
Yeah.
And I know the argument's going to be is like, oh, they were all misused guys in the WWE, not Jericho.
No, not Jericho.
Not Hager. They tried making him world champion several times. But yeah, I really like the show, and I'm excited to see what happens in week 2. For sure, man.
Yeah, it'll be into like because the smart fans or whatever, the internet fans, that's what I'm just giving crap for because I just feel like it's just like if this happened on,
but it's a subset of the
audience.
It really is, man.
But what will be interesting, it'll be interesting to see if the people that did tune in that were lapsed fans or whatever, Moxley, if they tune in and see these guys and are still just kind of like, all right, well these are still all just the same people, or if they aren't impressed with the rest of the people on their roster who, quite frankly, look like little skinny kids. You know what I mean? So I'll be interested to see how much the casual viewer stays tuned next week. So
what do we have next week? There's is it SCU versus
is it SCU? I know Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, Dustin.
And
but no, it's Young Bucks and Best Friends. Is that what the match is next week?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be a good match because I like.
Is it or is it SCU?
No, it's
Maybe
not
it is
SCU.
Young Bucks.
Because SCU is going against Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
Okay.
That's the match they're gonna have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Trent Beretta a lot. But yeah. And, the other thing I will say about the crowd at AEW is you would expect that crowd to just cheer for everything and cheer everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. I know all those people love MJF, but they booed him because they're supposed to boo him.
Mm-hmm.
They cheered Cody. They booed Sammy Guevara. They cheered who they were supposed to cheer, and they booed who they were supposed to boo. They were an active participant in the show in the best way fucking possible, where I really feel like that crowd lost themselves in the show and had a good-ass time. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Because I hate on NXT when Kevin Owens could have hung somebody. He could have literally hung Sami Zayn during that feud, and they would have cheered him.
Yeah.
And I hate that shit.
But I don't think it's fair to say that's an AEW thing. I don't know what was
up
with that crowd.
No, but that crowd...
Because that crowd that's there is the same crowd that's at WrestleMania. Is the same... Like, that's that crowd.
No, but they made it a point to do the things they were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And not just cheer for everything that was happening because they were happy that this company is on TV. Yeah. They were an active participant in the best way possible. So,
all right, we're going to put
we're done.
to sleep. Let's go.
Okay, Rick. That's Wrestling Buddies for this week. Hey, Rick's back. He's mad because we made him get off his phone. He was conducting some very important business on it, apparently.
Yeah.
I was just reading some stuff about what we're going to talk about later.
Cool. Okay. So that's what we've been doing this week. Being fucking wrestling fans.
I have to ask, is this like a whole new thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because, like, from overhearing what you guys were talking about, it sounds like this is brand new, nothing.
There's another company that started up.
Yeah.
So it's like the main company and branches off?
No. Well, that's WWE, has Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. This other thing, AEW, is a whole
totally separate,
brand new. It's a
different
competition.
People,
yeah.
Different
owners, different. I'm sorry, they don't have writers. Okay, my bad.
Supposedly.
But yeah, it's a completely separate company.
So brand new wrestlers.
Some brand new wrestlers.
They're not necessarily brand new wrestlers. They just might be wrestlers that haven't been on TV.
Right. Yeah.
But they've got.
They
have guys that used to be
big names from WWE. Yeah. I've been watching old Survivor Series lately, so I've been finding myself say WWF a lot.
Yeah, good. I feel like it should never stop being that.
I know. But okay.
I'm still bitter about that.
Was Wolf engaging with us, or was he just like, hey, talk
Not
about...
really.
No, okay.
He didn't even say talk about... I'm just going to say Jack Swagger.
Yes.
But
Jake Hager!
Yeah, Jake Hager. He just did 2 exclamation points. Christian K. He just was saying names.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I like Trent when he was with Rocky Romero.
We liked Trent when he was with Kalen Croft in WWE as the Dude Busters.
Yep.
We hated Kalen Croft, but we loved Trent Beretta.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, keep the F in. We'll
but the Dude Busters were like my favorite underrated tag team in WWF.
Yeah, that was a good team.